tool for any tamer. It lets you capture Tenorians with ease,
Because I'm
forming the bonds that shape this
fortunately running out of ideas on what to post lately. That's just a cow with a
Tenorians
fucking
are
balloon
amazing
on his head.
creatures of all shapes and sizes. Without
Anywho,
them, life would be very different.
because
Now,
I'm
enough
running
from
out of
me.
ideas,
What's your name?
I found a cool game. Tales of Tanario. Pokemon cat, Pokemon like. So I'm just like, hmm.
Your Tenorian adventure is about to begin.
Do I want the cool dog? Let me guess. These are the starters. Alrighty then. Do I want the cool dog, the weird looking bunny, or what I can only assume is a really shitty version of a Caterpie? Or just a fucked up version of a snake? Well, I've never really liked bunnies. Puppies are cool. More of a cat person. But that's because I own a cat. Not because I dislike dogs. So I'd say I'd go with the snake. Hello there. Wow, I'm 12 years old and already getting sent into the mines. This is a good start for my future. Kira! Is that a Death Note reference? Ma, don't trust her! She has the Death Note! God. I'm not even a Death Note watcher. I'm not even a Death Note fan. I haven't even watched a singular episode of Death Note. And yet the name Kira is a sleep ranger for me. Well, it doesn't have that exactly clean feeling that Feudal World does, but it doesn't have that calm and simple feeling that Good On has. And somehow it also fails to have that, it always fails to have that slightly uncanny but homecoming feeling that Lumion Legacy has. So, oh. Come on, Yuji. We gotta get our fucking starter, Tenorian. Stop falling asleep. Flopping like a bit. Ayo, are we sure that woman shouldn't be, like, arrested by PETA? She just kind of tied a balloon to a cat and decided it's a Tenorian. I'd feel bad if I had to battle that, because it looks like I'm battling a fucking cow with a balloon tied around it. Literally, the fucking balloon isn't even properly integrated. It literally just has a fucking balloon wrapped around itself. That's not a fucking monster, that's a fucking cat. Alright. Do I want the ugly looking rabbit? Alrighty, do I want the ugly looking rabbit? The dog that looks like it's trying to look like a Shiba but fails spectacularly? or the cool snake. I'm gonna go with the cool snake. Not because I'm against water types, nor Shibas. In fact, Shibas are my favorite type of dog. Species of dog. Fuck, I don't know how you say it. So yes, unfortunately I will not be picking up the water dog, since the water dog is not to my taste. Nor do I pick the bunny, because I love bunnies, but unfortunately I don't like you. Because instead of making you look like an actual bunny, they make you look like a fucking bunny plush. And I don't really like bunny plushies. The only real stand on... Jesus, I barely got my starter. At least Gary O from the original games let me stand up first. Stand up and stretch my legs. Oh. Using the super effective, aren't you? Alright, it displays in percentages. Screech. What do you mean subtly? That was good damage. Give me a crit, my dear friend. That's not a crit. Oh. No. Die! Yo. So, I'm still doing neutral damage, you dumb fuck. Die! I win by default, you dumb fuck. God, you're dumb. And I've won my first battle. Wow. Anywho, let me get back to what I was saying. The only design that I feel dealt good with the whole standing on 2 feet thing was, Bunnery and Lopunny. But that's because they made them look more animal-like and not more plush-like. Atlas. What the fuck's an Atlas? So it's basically a fancy fucking phone because this game couldn't come up with a way to say fancy fucking phone. And it also depletes its own storage, just like an average iPhone. Wow. Can I watch YouTube on it as well? You dumb motherfucker. My snake's kinda dumb. And today, my friend, we go out. I haven't decided if this was gonna be a Nuzlocke or just a regular playthrough, but considering I've literally never heard of this fuck-ass game, I don't know if this game's gonna get hard or not. So yeah. So, I'ma just be safe and say, yeah, fuck no. A caterpillar. So wow. Alrighty, my dearest friend. Get in the fucking... Oh, wow, during one of the transitions between all that shit, my fucking camera just straight up phases for the floor. That's a good sign going ahead of time. I wasn't looking at you. I was staring at a sign of what I think was berries. How in hell does that signify I want to fight you? Well, unfortunately for you, I picked the cool snake, so you're gonna die. Well, once it fucking loads, you're gonna die. Spooter. Fucking Spooter. They couldn't even be creative enough to give him a creative name. They just straight up named him Spooter. I feel like kind of... Jesus, dude. Dumbass cat, get your ass over here. I aspire. Well, they're created with some names, I guess. Not all names, but... I don't know how a move named Chirp does damage, considering it's literally just making a noise. But then again, I've seen Screech... No. But then again, Screech lowers defense, so... Who am I to judge what a Pokemon move does? Or Tenorian. Alrighty. That seems oddly specific. I'm not gonna question that. Alrighty, weird squirrel. Not before I find out what you are. Oh, they're actually kinda cool. Plunderer. As in it will gain more money? Or you get quick swipe. Fantastic, I guess. And you're quite tanky. Lovely. Well, I think tanky. Alrighty, Tanuki. Get in the Tanukan. Tanocan. You're literally at fucking 29% HP. What do you mean you're resisting the ball? The fucking can or whatever. Have we really ran out of, have we really ran out of creative names for capturing items? We're just straight up using cans? If I slapped the title Tanocan on a can of beans, does it become a Tanocan? But yeah, I should probably capture the cool squirrel. Well, not really cool squirrel. You kinda look stupid. Notent. Not it. Notent. Notent. We Whatever you are, you're not Damn, bro, that was fucking great. Bro, you barely did jack shit. A crit with you dealt 4 damage. I should probably not be capturing you considering how weak you are, but you are something new, I guess. Do I really? Whatever. It's not like I'm planning on permanently keeping this team. I'll like change them out as I go. Ah, don't you love it? They made the healing facility this fucking far. Instead of letting me heal using my mom or something, they just straight up said, nah. Yes. Stop looking at me like that. You're weirding me out. Coming back to you looking at me like that. Alright, we got some lethal bellies, some cans, and mushrooms. What the fuck? God, I thought the next tier of tanner cans were small potions, small potions. Jesus, that's weak. For you, gang of wishes. You're the same Alright. Thought they'd have an increased capacity for what they sell. But no. They're basically just like, ha 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 ha. It was an interesting idea to make the first town this big and make the healing station at the farthest point away. I mean, to be fair, they could have done much worse. But just because they could have done worse, doesn't mean they're necessarily good. Alright. Wow, instead of being a cool berry bush like I hoped, it's just not. Those two Notons were packed together, so I thought it was a cool new Pokemon or whatever. It's kinda cool that we have them out in the wild and shit, so you can see what you're getting before you encounter them. Kinda like in Sword and Shield. But like, gang, it's lagging the fuck out of my fucking game. At least I can rebattle trainers, I guess. It's kind of a bad sign. If you can rebattle trainers, then that usually signals that it's gonna be a struggle. Or just require a bunch of EXP to evolve or something. Or gain levels. Kind of don't like the little delay on choosing a move versus when it hits, because it just feels like it makes the game take longer. Oh, it's an automatic XP share for all of them, I guess. I'm gonna quickly level up my... Jesus! It's been 20 minutes up until this point? Oh lord. That's not exactly a good sign. I already know I'm not nuzlocking this shit. If it takes 20 minutes to do what I do, then if I have to reset after I lose, which I'm inevitably gonna die, I'm not good at Pokemon, then it'd take me like 15 minutes to get through all the intro. Yeah, no. Alrighty, and we're back again. Fortunately, it did not take long at all for all that grinding. It's unfortunate. Oh, I just noticed chest up there. Anywho, because if it had been long, then I probably would have not posted this. No, not that. I probably would have complained about it. Which, as you can see, I'm not. Jeez. Come on. Oh. So you make me able to claim the fucking rocks, but I can't get the can't get the goddamn item until I go up the fucking hill. Yay. Let me guess. Your battle. I don't really like the sword clashing sound, since it's kind of cringe. Why is your stuff blue? You wanna know? You know, there's something with the Pokemon community that's always kind of bugged me. And it's that some Pokemon players will complain if the Pokemon trainer has a Pokemon you can't access until later. And I'm just like, you do realize that not all trainers would have came from the starting town, right? Like, there's like two houses. There's like two houses in a fucking Pokemon research lab. How the fuck do you think every trainer in the game came from one town? Like, maybe I'm just complaining, but like, bro, it just gets annoying. There. And they always like to deem it illegal Pokemon. I'm just like, man. Even if they did originate from the same town that the main character does, it could just be that they explored that route and then came back, because, you know, it's not like a motherfucker. It's not like a motherfucker at, it's not like if you go to Victory Road, it's not like you're forced to stay at Victory Road for the rest of your life. Just because you've been to Victory Road. You know? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, it's probably just me. Why is yours this red? Like, huh? God, that delay. I mean, it's a cool thing, since obviously you shoot a fireball, it isn't gonna hit the opposing monster instantly. But like, why is there two copies? Oh, this game's already buggy. Haven't even gotten through the first route yet. Well, technically now I have, but you get my fucking idea. not exactly a good sign when on the first route you already find a bug. Especially when not even trying to look for bugs like most Pokemon YouTubers are. You know, I've always found it kind of funny that people would be like, haha, buggy game, despite knowing that their ass literally went out of their way to try and find bugs. Like, tell me in what specific way would you have found this bug without genuinely trying to break the game? Like, I don't know if I'm just being sensitive, but sometimes it just feels like people are finding every way to call Scarlet and Violet a buggy mess. And I'm just like, sure, it was kind of a buggy mess off rip when it was first introduced, but my friend, 90% of those bugs were found by someone specifically hunting for bugs. I'd like information. They have a little... I wanted an information bar. Look, it has a little information icon, but it won't let me get information. What kind of bullshit is that? You know, the funny thing is, it didn't even give me a notification that I learned the move Constraint. It just straight up said, oh here. It didn't even give me a little stat page where it's just like, oh hey, this is what this random ass fucking move does. Ironic, considering I'm even part of that move. You're the same. I like the little neat detail of, like, wild roamers and whatever, like, the Tenorians, like, appearing without specifically needing to encounter them first. But for the love of Christ, this shit just lags the hell out of my game. This game does not have the singlest bit of consideration for those who might be of the mobile particular type. Which is sad because, you know, not everyone in this game plays on a PC. Is there anything else? Adorable powerhouse. Let me guess, is a notent. Pocket. There's achievements. Rado. Where the f would I find that? I've been searching, but I ain't been able to find any. Well, I wasn't looking for a Rado, but I didn't know what I was searching for, alright? While I wasn't explicitly looking for said thing, I also wasn't specifically not looking for said thing. It's cool that you thought they'd be powerhouses, but they're grass types. And, grass tends to get burned and fire. You know, I've always found it kind of funny that with human biology, our biology is supposed to be so compact or advanced that a lot of viruses that affect pets don't affect humans. And then everything that counters a human is something that multiplies using the human body. Like... Huh? So... What the f... is that little flower thing next to you? That's a cat. That's a cat. Alrighty. Cat weed. Gentle breeze. Well, why is it dealing damage if it's gentle? Oh. Explain that to me, Tenorian. Legend of Tenoria. Why the hell does a gentle breeze deal damage to me? Isn't it supposed to be gentle? I can't exactly say that a gentle slap is something that literally... A gentle embrace? That's like saying something is a gentle embrace when it's literally crushing a person's ribcage. Maybe a bad example, but whatever. My point is, I feel like it should be something like reduces accuracy, or just lower speed, or height. Dude, you're on 5% HP. Why are you struggling so much? Damn. Do these motherfuckers just hate me? These motherfuckers just hate me. You are literally almost dead. Finally, Jesus. How hard they'd fight against me. You think I was trying to slaughter them or something. Alrighty, we've got the presumably grass-type cat. We've got... You know, you usually wouldn't think that quite literally almost the fucking... That what's literally almost the fucking starter area wouldn't be such complex, but I digress. Doopy. Alright. They're a weird looking cow with a coconut on its head. Fantastic. Burn it. The only... Oh god, you... Whatever fancy way this game uses to describe their non-punch move. 320 gold. Yay. We got a fucking healer in the middle of nowhere. Are you sure you're ready to heal my Tenorians? Your healing station's kind of rusty, girl. When people say they like a rustic appearance, I'm not sure they mean they literally want their stuff to be covered in rust. Apparently this girl misunderstood that. Yeah, this phone makes my fucking phone burn. Fun. I love it when my phone in fact, literally gets almost cooked alive because a creature catcher wanted to be fancy and be like, ooh, we're gonna have all the creatures in the wild. Surely this won't lag the fuck out of anyone's game. A double battle? I have not seen neither of you. Citric. That sounds like the... Wow, you haven't learned anything, have you? Quick fight. King. It just started raining out of nowhere, didn't it? Oh, you're super dead. Ball. Unfortunately for you, I'm a ranged attack. Well, I have a ranged attack. Hey yo, team up on him. Beat him up. Why do I have to choose? There's only one enemy on the field. Why do I need to choose which move I want to use? You gotta be quite tanky to tank all of that. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, I'm gonna hit you with my car. And it works. Can I attack my own fucking teammate or something? Nope, I can't. Makes sense. I guess. Sit down. Sit down, ground beef. What do you mean aces have their off days? Motherfucker, you got squad wiped in an instant. There is hardly an ace on their day off. That's a fucking massacre. And the only reason it wasn't even more of a massacre is because it started raining! Die. Whoa. And you're dead as hell. Scorched. Citric. Yet another Tenorian weak to my Tenorian starter. That is quite annoying. However, I won't let it get in the way of torching you. Oh! You know, I was playing Doodle World on one of my burner accounts, and I got to that part where I was just like, I like to transport some of my misplates onto my main account. However, in that part, you fight Rufus. Well, technically you can fight Inari or Rufus, but I chose to fight Rufus since when I first played through Doodle World on an account, well, get 360 no-scoped, which for some reason, despite me knowing the password and the name, Roblox just refuses to acknowledge that. Since for some reason, Roblox is just insanely terrible at not deleting fucking accounts on sight. Like, genuinely, it's on site. Like, I remember, I used to have 6 accounts, all tied to my main account. All of them got wiped out, except for this account. And even then, this account was only really recently made, which means it still has a high chance of getting wiped out. Anywho, so I was going to fight Rufus, and because of a recent bug or whatever, I could care less. All doodles did not have a level cap. So instead of my doodles being like level 36, they are like level 44. Well, I decided to, battle Rufus. All of my doodles were at 44. Rufus has doodles that are over level 50, and one of his doodles is max level. And I'm sitting here questioning, literally, how the fuck did they expect a team of level 36, or maybe 42, I forget the level cap, anyway, like level 42, 44 level doodles to defeat that. So anywho, I got kind of traumatized and have leveled up all of my doodles to level like 60, yeah. And well, yes, I do acknowledge that's the max level, meaning all fights in the future will now be proportionally boring due to me being literally the max level. I, however, would like all of you to realize that, in fact, if this game didn't want me to overlevel, they wouldn't send me an overpowered boss. Simple as that. But yeah. I was also trying to get the ticket farm thing since, I want to get tickets because my preferred method of, shiny hunting, or misprint hunting in this case, is breeding / using the tickets. Because I, however, do not like battling, chaining, capturing them randomly, and I don't know any legitimate methods to get them that isn't breeding or battling / chaining. So I am unfortunately stuck with chaining, which would be fantastic if while I was chaining for a doodle, I didn't get... Wait. Oh yeah, I came from there, It might be stupid. Anywho, it took me a chain the fuck. Alright. Anywho, it took me a chain of 311 to get that misprint. And it probably would have been higher if I didn't get a 2 times misprint boost as my golden gift. So yeah, that was unfun. Luckily I've been getting lucky with my spins and getting misprints in my roulette and then subsequently spinning said misprints in my roulette. But that was still kind of, traumatizing. So instead of chaining, like I was originally planning to get all of my misprints, I'm planning on instead just ticket farming. AKA stay AFK, watch a video on a different phone or device or whatever, and then just occasionally come check up on those machines. Technically, you don't even have to join Doodle if you bought the Game Pass. But you wanna know what? I'm kinda dedicated to not buying the Game Pass. Don't judge me if this is disproven in the future. Or whatever. Because I might buy the Game Pass in the future. It takes too long. Since not everyone wants to drain their battery. So it's not even getting gameplay. But yeah. Jeez, it takes a while to get to this given town, don't it? 46 minutes! Just let me into the next town already! I was planning on stopping this at minute 30. Oh, that's actually kind of cool, I guess. Anyway, I was planning on stopping this at minute 30 since it's better for the algorithm. But no! Why did it take more than 30 minutes to get the fucking first town? Ah! I like the whole getting erased. I like the whole getting erased animation, and it kind of feels like it takes too long. Like, is there like a setting to disable that? Or just disable animations? So I can, get past this shit faster? Because this shit takes way too fucking long. You want to know something? Because of how popular the Backrooms movie became, people are just adamant of showing their favorite clips about the Backrooms movie. And while I'm not necessarily against people showing clips of a favorite movie, I, however, am against people who show it literally days after the fucking movie came out. Yes, I will acknowledge that, yes, in fact, I have been given such a long chance to watch the Backrooms movie. However, I am both dedicated to watching Quite's summary of Quite's entire watch compilation of the whole Backrooms lore, since apparently the Backrooms movie takes place after the Rise episode. Which isn't that long, but I get sidetracked often, and Backrooms lore isn't something I'm hyper-fixated on. Because here's the thing with hyperfixation. Here's a short class on how hyperfixation works. Ahem. Take two things, alright? One only takes a certain amount of time to complete, while the other takes forever to complete. With hyperfixation, that thing that takes forever to complete will be completed in one session. While if not hyperfixated on the other, it just no. And that, my dear friends, is why I haven't watched the Backrooms movie yet. And why I'm constantly getting rage baited Because people, for the life of them, keep on putting their thumbnails as spoilers for the movie. The only spoilers I accept when people put in their fucking thumbnails are spoilers that use the fucking movie, that use the movie trailer